you kidding me? So we should probably talk about UMG and TikTok, right? To start off, hi, I'm Juliana. I'm gonna assume you're new here because there's a high likelihood, if anybody is clicking on this, you are new here. That is. I think I have like 11 subscribers. What are you doing over there? Hey, get back here. I can't snap, otherwise I'd snap right now. Okay, you're back. Let's not do that again, right? You know, this is a conversation between you and I. I'm only making this video because everybody I know is, I can't explain this to you because they don't understand, right? And I already made them read the article I wrote about this exact topic, so they don't want any more content, right? So like this is me and you. So let's talk about UMG and TikTok. If you're anything like me, you are on TikTok all the time. Quite frankly, I don't even want to check my screen time on TikTok because it'll probably make me actively more depressed than being on TikTok makes me. I'm on depression meds though, guys. It's okay. It's okay. So, I feel like most people have a general understanding of what TikTok is, just in case you live under a rock and still clicked on a video about TikTok, even though, you know what? I'm not gonna question you. So, TikTok started off as Musical.ly, and it's in the name, music. The main draw of TikTok Musical.ly, it's lip syncing, dancing, of course not like real dancing a lot of the time. There are some real dancers, I've seen some amazing choreography on here. Obviously, even since Musical.ly, there was audios that got popular that weren't necessarily revolving around music. I specifically remember on Musical.ly, because I'm a Musical.ly veteran, I served in the war, which is really weird because it was just a bunch of middle schoolers. I remember scrolling through the, you know, like the funny, I made a lot of sketches, which was mostly Miranda Sings, which is toxic gossip train. TikTok has gone to a space where there's a lot of creators that make comedy content and audios go viral that may not have music in the background, but as a whole, music takes a lot less work than making a little sketch, you know? Even with those funny audios that you see a lot of people using, you have to come up with a situation to use it, and some people don't want to think. They just want to lip sync to a cool little song, and I totally get it. I've done it. I do try and make videos more on the comedy side, but as somebody who doesn't have a lot of followers, if I post just my voice, like just me speaking to the camera like this, it will not get nearly as many views as if I'm lip syncing to a song. That's just the way it is. That's how the algorithm works. It pumps videos because the more people use an audio, the more it pushes it. This isn't a video about the TikTok algorithm because honestly, there's so much going on there. Anyway, music is a big part of TikTok. It's like its whole thing. Their icon is literally like a funky looking music note. Like, it's music. So when I and many other users were scrolling and all of a sudden a bunch of different videos were silent, including, you know, like, I obviously post a lot of TikToks. Not obviously, you don't know that, but I post a lot of TikToks and some of my own have like a new bar that says muted on it. I'm like, okay, what the fuck does that mean? So basically, UMG, Universal Music Group, I'm just gonna call it UMG because even though it's 4 p.m. and this is full of coffee, geez, that's just like a tongue twister. And like, dude, I'm not good at those. So, I'm a theater kid. One of my majors is in theater. The other is in communications and media, which makes me qualified. So Universal Music Group, or UMG, basically is one of like 3 record music signing, I don't know. So this is huge. Like, it's kind of like a consolidation. They like bought a bunch of smaller companies and now there's just like 3 groups. They have people from Taylor Swift all the way down to smaller artists that the general population have not heard of. I have though. So I'm just gonna mention it now in case you hear any background noises. I am filming this in one of the loudest dorm halls on campus. So, woo. So UMG is this huge company and they have decided to pull all of their music from TikTok. So all of those videos with any artists under this company are now silent, which is incredibly noticeable. Like, it's a big thing. So why did they do this? Like, it doesn't really make sense. So why would they do it? UMG stated that they did this because of artist compensation and fear for AI. So let's talk about both. TikTok straight up called UMG greedy. Like, that's the exact word they called them, greedy. Which is really interesting coming from two incredibly large corporations calling anyway. So yeah, it is true that artists on TikTok don't really get compensated. I obviously don't know the exact numbers. I think they do get some sort of compensation, especially if it's like their own video. But TikTok is notorious for not really paying people what they're worth. The TikTok Creator Fund doesn't really make people a lot of money, and that's why you're seeing a bunch more people peddling TikTok shop videos, because the commission they make on that is a lot more than they get from the Creator Fund. There's also a bunch of issues with the Creator Fund, so unless you're really like a large creator, you don't get much from it. It's more branching off into other things and using TikTok to get people to follow. This isn't a video about influencers. The fear for AI rights. I'm gonna be so real. The more I learn about AI, I've learned all of it against my will, but the more I learn is quite honestly frightening and makes me sad. So I don't like seek that content out. So I don't really know what UMG is talking about when they say fear for AI. From what I've gathered, and I don't feel like researching it, so sorry. People can feed TikToks into AI, and that's how it gets, oh, almost just spilled my coffee. That's how it gets anything. Because what I do know about AI is it takes a bunch of content and uses things that already exist to make AI content. And yet TikTok is doing little to prevent that, because they probably make money off of that, I'm assuming. Like, why else wouldn't they stop it? Yeah, TikTok as a company is very weird because they don't really own anything on TikTok, right? Like, it's like there's no TikTok original content like on Netflix or something. Like, there's Netflix originals, so even if all of these other companies take their stuff off the platform, Netflix still has the baseline of stuff. If people stop posting on TikTok and take down all their videos, TikTok has nothing. Granted, they have like TikTok live events, but still, it's not the same. So yeah, TikTok doesn't really care about protecting its creators because they just make them money and they don't really have to do much. I don't think any of that is the real reason. I mean, I think compensation is UMG's goal, but they don't care about the artists, which becomes evident in how the artists have been reacting to this situation. Now, you might be being like, Juliana, you said literally like Taylor Swift is gonna be fine. And yeah, she is. Taylor Swift is probably not gonna be affected at all by this. And if she does, she's honestly so well off that this is like nothing. Like, she does not care. Taylor Swift does not care about TikTok. Olivia Rodrigo, I feel like honestly she'll be fine, but she probably also won't release another album for 3 years. Like, these artists with big followings, they're fine, right? They existed before TikTok. Well, I don't think Olivia did, but regardless, Taylor Swift existed before TikTok and was successful, and she'll exist after TikTok, basically. She does not need it to thrive, right? The people that this really affects is these smaller artists, and even some we don't necessarily think of as small. Noah Kahan, is that how you say it? I don't know. I apologize. I know the love but it's the season of the stick song. I think I would be a fan if I listened to some of his music, but I just like haven't, you know? Music is really hard for me to listen to for the first time. That's why TikTok is how I discover my music. Listening to music on TikTok has changed my music taste in general. And I think that's the case for a lot of people. We've discovered new artists. Renee Rapp is under UMG, and I'm a big fan of her. And I probably, like, I knew who she was, obviously, because she was like on Broadway and 2015 Jimmy Award winner. But I would not have heard about her music if it wasn't through TikTok. Tattoos had its own little moment. In the Kitchen had its own little moment that I saw. And yeah, I actually, literally right here, Renee vinyl. So like, it has helped me discover artists that I like, and that's the case with so many people. Like, I honestly feel like if I were to go through like my current favorite playlist or whatever, most of those artists I heard about through TikTok or TikTok edits and stuff like that. It's, in this day and age, that is how people discover music. Nobody is listening to the radio anymore. It's just like cable television. People are paying for Spotify Premium and stuff like that because, I'm sorry, why would I listen to songs, I don't know, on the radio? Like, I'm just gonna listen to my own music. And maybe, just maybe, I'll listen to Discover on Spotify Music, but I probably won't. Because, let's face it, I'm in the car, I'm performing, right? And I can't perform a song I don't know. I'm gonna insert the videos from Noah Kahan and Peach PRC.
So like you, I've read the news about the UMG catalog being taken off TikTok. You know, so my songs aren't gonna be on there anymore. I won't be able to promote my music on TikTok anymore. But luckily I'm not a TikTok artist, right? Anyways, you're gonna have to pre-save forever now if you want to listen to it, because I can't stick it down your throats anymore on this app. So pre-save forever. I'm still releasing it, still coming out, and you know, I'll probably be okay, right? I'll land on my feet, right? Right?
Who do they think they are? I've given the best years of my life to this place, and they think they can just fire me like that? Like trash? I don't think so.
The sentiment that they have in these TikToks is very similar to most most artists, even if they aren't necessarily going on TikTok and saying it, because both of them were discovered through TikTok. That's how they got their platform. And I can't imagine how terrifying that is. Like, all of a sudden, your platform is just ripped away from you. Like, that is so scary, especially Noah Kahan, who has a new song coming out and no way to promote it. Like, he can be like, hey guys, I have a new song out, but in order to get that video to have like super traction, he needs to put somebody else's song in it. Like, even the video that I put, he has another song in the background, because that's how you get your video pumped through the TikTok algorithm, right? I also think one of the big things that these artists found out the same time that the general population did. JoJo Siwa, say what you will about her, said that she like posted and was like, is it bad that I didn't know that my songs were even being removed? Because she didn't know. Nobody told her. Nobody was like, hey, like, your songs aren't gonna be on TikTok anymore. Like, nobody called these people up and said, hey. Which is really crazy considering how big this is for people. Cody Fry, I think, also said that he didn't know. He was talking about how he was really scared because one of his songs was actively going viral in China. And that's super big for him. Like, he's getting more streams and more uses of his song. And at the peak of the trend, it's taken away. Right? This is so scary for so many artists. And personally, an artist I found out because of Renee Rapp, Towa Bird, who opened for her. I highly recommend listening to Towa Bird. She has like 4 songs out right now. Listen to them. They slay. Towa Bird straight up just posted her music on her own, because she, you know, even her original audios didn't necessarily get a lot of posts underneath them. One of her newer songs, I think, has like 6 videos underneath it. I'm on, well, not anymore, I guess. But these artists know how important that having a song on TikTok is, especially for those edit communities, right? These edits, like, think of how many, it's just crazy. Like, if I really were to think about it, I just would, God, this chair's squeaking like crazy. If I really were to think about it, I would just get so upset for these artists. Like, I think if it happened to me, I'd cry, and then I'd quit the music industry. Like, I'm sorry, that's it. That's the final straw. Like, I'm out of here. Obviously, those are the biggest impacts. On a smaller scale, though, you also have influencers, and I know not many people care about the influencers, but these songs are what help them get stuff. And while they maybe not be getting compensated well, compensation is still compensation, right? And I think big creators like Brittany Broski, again, say what you will about her, creators like Brittany Broski have other platforms, YouTube, Spotify podcast, like media presence. Like at this point, Emma Chamberlain is basically just a celebrity. Honestly, I don't even think she ever really used TikTok except to promote her coffee. But once you get to a certain point of TikTok fame, you don't really need it anymore. And you can make money other ways, because I believe YouTube and other places compensate better. But TikTok is how you remain relevant. And that's the thing. It's how you remain relevant. And so using these audios, even just in the background and turning the sound all the way down, can help gain traction. And even if you don't even use the song in your video, like maybe you talk about the song and so you put it in the background and turn it down to 0, right? I've done that a couple of times. Those videos are silent. Even that song didn't even feature. Like when I posted a video of me seeing Renee Rapp live, and obviously I put the song in the background and just turned all the volume down because I'm like, that helps people see it, but you know, the audio is all mine. When I went to go replace that audio, right, I had to put another song and turn it all the way down. I couldn't just not like detach the song, which at that point, it doesn't make sense for the song to be in the video at all. And not to continue talking about myself, one of the things I do on TikTok, and the reason I post is, well, obviously I want to get famous and then not have to work a normal people job, but that's like second. And the first is I post for myself. I post for fun. I also post to remember different moments in my life. I posted for my 19th birthday, which happened. Oh my god, thank you. Yeah, I just turned 19. But I used an Olivia Rodrigo sound and it got taken down. So, like, that was really important to me. And the audio summed up what I was feeling on that day. And I replaced it with, like, the screaming audio, but, like, that's not how I really feel, but there was nothing else that really described it. And then I also made a TikTok transition video that was really bad for my graduation last year. And, like, it's silent now. That one really did hit me kind of hard, because I'm like, that's, like, I didn't make that, I mean, I made it for fun, but I made it to commemorate me graduating, and the audio is taken down? Like, what? And the thing was, nobody really had enough, like 12 hours before I heard that, and at that point, half of the audios were already taken down. By the time people found out, that it was already gone. Like, I couldn't even save any of my videos and be like, okay, you know, I'll save it with the original sound and then, like, you know, I'll have that. I couldn't even do that. And I think UMG's complains about this. First of all, I don't think they considered any of these situations at all. I don't think they considered the artists. I don't think they considered influencers. But I also don't think they cared about the general population. I don't think they know enough about TikTok to be making this decision, which is really weird because I'm chronically online, right? And yes, granted, one of my majors is in communications and media, and I'm specifically studying digital media. I've taken one class and I'm currently in another one about it. I can tell this is an incredibly stupid decision. Like, I'm not here to be the judge on anything. I'm not saying they should have hired me, although they definitely should have. Like, I think that would have been like cool and fresh. These big companies don't know anything about younger people. They don't understand how we are getting our music. They don't understand any of what is going on. And honestly, I think UMG's complaints about artist compensation and AI is bullshit. I think it is absolute bullshit. Because you know what they could do if they wanted their artists to be better compensated? I don't know how much they make, but they're a huge company. One of three record labels, right? So 1/3 of all artists are under them, roughly, right? You know what they could do if they wanted those artists to be better compensated? pay them. Like, I'm not saying that this isn't TikTok's fault either. TikTok could absolutely afford to pay them. But UMG is such a big company. They are not making losses from TikTok, right? They are getting exposure for their artists, which makes them more money. I do agree that TikTok is calling them greedy. Do I also think TikTok is greedy? Absolutely. But I think UMG can try and fight for better ways to get the artists compensated, right? But at the end of the day, that's not their decision, right? It's the artists. I think even Cody Fry said, he's like, I'd love to be better compensated. But at the end of the day, taking my music off of the app is gonna lose money. Taking artist music off the app, off of TikTok, is losing money. I need to get off TikTok. Since when did you get over here? Okay, well, at the end of the day, to conclude this video, we live in a capitalistic nightmare. So, make sure to smash that like button and hit that subscribe button as well. And hey, while you're there, leave a comment about what your favorite part of capitalism is. Good luck. Toodles.